Yo, what's up everyone? How's it going? So, like the title says, we're going to be playing the new character today. We'll be doing NG+10 on the Gladiator. So, should be fun. Like it or hate it, the Gladiator's titles are super good for any primary crit build, which should be like every primary build. Currently at 260 crit bonus for all heroes, which will just increase as we do more and more. So it's definitely getting the Gladiator's titles up will definitely help out the Paladin, the Thief, Ranger, even the Priest and himself, because they all pretty much play the primary build. So anyway, let's get into it. First of all, we'll change our statues before we start rolling the shop and going over everything. So I'm gonna go attack build, combo, crit. Bolgarth is for sure amazing when you switch out these two though. So I want Callus for sure. That one's locked in. Now this one, you can pick a couple different ones. You can pick Ozreth if you want to start with the poison item. I don't really want to. If I find one early, maybe I'll switch the statue over to it, but I don't really feel like I need to. I would rather go with Kyra to get the faster primary when we're not avoiding the cooldown, so we can always have that leech. Also, it has pretty good damage with the arrows, gives us a little range, a little extra base damage, and this should be able to scale up really well. There's nothing wrong with Ozreth. As we get the statue up higher, and well, if we rolled for a poison item, there's a good bit of bosses that can be poisoned, so this could actually be like a pretty good damage increase. But I think I just want the speed of the primary, so we're gonna use that for now. And we have it a lot higher than our level 2 Ozreth. I think we're just basically saving up ore to put into Callus, because that is going to be the most important one. Alright, so that's our statues. Let's next look at items. We're going to be looking for Magebane. If we get Magebane plus a poison item, maybe we'll consider going Ozreth instead of Kyra. But we'll just kind of see what it gives us. So really just looking for Magebane. You can't craft it, so Magebane 100%. And then we're going to craft Lucky Hat with the anvil, because that's just the way you do it nowadays. It's basically the meta for all characters, like one item plus Lucky Hat is pretty good on everyone. Some good like supporting items, like Claymore is good. Any damage penetration, like the magic damage penetration. We're going to be using Incendiary Demise, so even like Scarab of Protection would be good. The most important is definitely the Magebane, so going to be looking for that more than anything else. So Lucky Hat. We want it, but we're going to be crafting it, so I'm going to skip over it for now, because you can't craft Magebane. So let's speed this up a little bit, see if we can find at least one Magebane. We'll probably take it no matter what it's with, just because we're kind of confident that we're going to be able to complete this NG+10 run. Won't have to like work too hard to get additional good green and common items. If we can even find it. It's like I'm going faster, and I just think I'm gonna roll over it. I'm curious if we're bugged out. Alright, so let's enter in. We could be bugged out. I'm not sure what we did last on this character. So if this ever happens to you, you kind of roll for an item and you get like really far in. It's better just to cut your losses, kill your character, because sometimes if you bug out with the item before, the game will think that you still have the item and you won't be offered that item in the shop. So it's better to log in and kill yourself just to make sure. Alright, there's Magebane, so I can't tell if that's what fixed it or not, but it's definitely here now. So Magebane, extra skill power and magic missiles. Magic missiles are nice, skill power, kind of irrelevant. We're rarely going to be using our skills. Blood Dagger is basically garbage. Defender's Halberd is amazing though, +1 for that item. And Spellbook, kind of the same as the Tome. Steady Greaves, extra health, that's fine. So I would say this is probably equal to 2 items that are really solid, and this is kind of like a, I guess you could say 3 items because it's a common, and the rest of these are garbage. So you really want to find, like, I guess it depends what NG you're doing. The higher you're doing, the more strict you want to be. You want to try to find maybe 4 good items, 5 good items. You know, the higher you go, the more pressure should be put on your starting items. Alright, let's craft our lucky hat. Sweet. Go grab some drinks, and we'll be ready to start off this character. Oh, we'll go over the chapel too. I think we actually want to try a different setup. So we have Leech from the chapel already. We're going to continue with that, so we're not going to take Crimson Death. Really just find this drink annoying to play with. So we're going to go Fanatic Eruption, get our combo, Incendiary Demise from our magic damage on our primary, damage over time, which helps with like some items. Wicked Sickness, more damage from our combo. We do Overflowing Physique, so we're basically going to have no mana this whole run. That's why we're saying we're pretty much never going to be casting these skills. And the last one, there's a couple different picks you can do. You can go like Groovy Ghost for evasion. You can go Crazy Eye for crit chance on primary. You can go Last Stand if you want to play that way. Double Thriller if you really feel like you just want more damage. You could technically go for crit damage on primary, but I think the crit chance is going to be better. I really would say, where is it? Crazy Eye or Stab in the Dark if you want to play with it are probably the best ones. Just since you have so much crit bonus on this character, you just want to try to crit as much as possible. Because if you look, we're doing 21% chance to crit with 660 crit bonus. So 21% of the time we're doing 660% crit, and that's not even talking about like double crits and triple crits and all of that, which is a whole nother thing. But yeah, we wanted to change this up. So we normally play with Divine Blast, with Leech, Magic Penetration, and Defender. So we want to try to not use Divine Blast and try using Divine Bomb and see how we like that. So still going Defender, still going for the Penetration, still going for Leech, and we'll try Bomb out. Not worried about buying it because we can always switch back for free. Not really a big deal. And last but not least is the Fountain setup. We basically always go more or less the same. General Traps, Topple Towers, Safe Corridors, Plentiful Gifts, Glasswalk Treasure Hunt, Demolish Spawners, and then you either pick Mysterious Guidance if you want more monoliths, if you feel like those buffs are helpful for you, or you go Abundant Shops if there's certain item combinations you're looking for. And to counteract this, I go Elite Reinforcements, or not Elite Reinforcements, Lousy Consumables, Enemy Overseers, Minor Strike, Agile Adversaries, and Dry Springs. So that puts you at 1,000. You could easily run this if you wanted to be cheap. We're just going to tackle on something else, so let's go with monoliths. There's a lot of good monoliths for primary characters, so we'll go with that. And I'm going to convert the rest of this to ore, and we are ready to go. Also, not taking Ozreth for the statue makes it a little easier to get starting items. Just something to think about. But if you already have a high level Ozreth, you can roll until you find it, or if you find an item like on the first floor or something that gives you poison, you can always log into another character and change the statue. I just prefer Kyra, but it may change as the NGs get higher. So we'll definitely use our skills when we can. Bomb's doing pretty good damage, it looks. It's a little like weird to get used to. I'm not used to the circle like that. But it does do really good damage. So the Gladiator is pretty tanky, so we should just be able to kind of run through the game, even on NG+10. Does the bomb always crit? I'm not really sure. I've heard like people saying that you can basically guarantee bomb crits with your, if you're using one of your tridents. For the guaranteed crit, it should auto crit it, which I guess is the same for auto critting on Divine Blast. I don't know. People seem to think that Divine Blast like is kind of a waste of a guaranteed crit, so I want to try out with the bomb, which I don't really have any issues against AoE on Gladiator. Like it's all fine. Really, like some of the bosses, when you run out of guaranteed crits, it feels like you're kind of just hitting the boss with a wet noodle after that. So I'm hoping the bomb will help at least a little bit with that. And it could just be my base crit chance isn't high enough on this character. So we have 21.3% chance with 8 luck. So this is going to be like a different way to play, trying to keep things in the bomb and not kite them out of it. I haven't played with bomb, so definitely interested in trying it out on this character. But yeah, Author, what are you up to? How'd your runs go? Apothecary's Mortar and Pestle. It's technically a good item, like as far as the potion items are concerned. It's the most beneficial one. You can use it like preemptively against Thunder Snow or something if you feel like you're about to take a bunch of damage. Also in this character we haven't done any arena, and we've only done one Pyramid of Prophecy, so keep that in mind. I gotta say I don't like how slow the bomb is, but it does a lot of damage. Pretty okay, just bad luck with imps. As always, push source to 50 and did a few runs on Glad and Pally. Yeah, like it or hate it, you gotta play the Gladiator. I think it's pretty fun overall. I think it'd be nice if the skills were more meaningful. Like, I think no matter what you do, if his primary, or not his primary, if his guild title is crit bonus, you're pretty much going to have to play him as a primary character eventually. Alright, so we're going Markham's. Want to get that set going. I think I also want to go for mana. And this is where we had the option to get Coated Arrow and like switch to Ozreth, but we're probably just going to take the resistances to be safer. I have a low level Ozreth, so I'm not going that. Falcon, what's up, dude? We're doing pretty well. Just started off tonight. Revisiting the Gladiator. This is pretty much our last run that we needed to do on the Gladiator before we start thinking about making a guide and figuring out what at least our favorite way to play the Gladiator is for NG0 to NG10. Yeah. I feel like I'm not going to like the bomb by the end of this. Unless the boss damage is that good. Because in like that situation, with Divine Blast, it would have already started dealing damage. So I would have cleared out a lot of those like really bad enemies, and I'm also leeching from it a little faster. I don't know. Didn't seem to help too much against this boss. Didn't have to move or anything, but I think I just don't like it mechanically. It feels clunky. Yeah, that bomb kind of is a joke. It's huge damage, so like the damage potential is there. It's just so easy to have something go wrong and get no damage out of it. Like I'm dropping a bomb right there. I had 2 enemies in it. Dropped a bomb there, 0 enemies. Dropped a bomb there, I killed it as the bomb goes out, and it still has a second delay before it actually activates. Oh, we got double boots of speed. Which Divine Blessings have you tried so far? On this character, I've only tried Blast, and now I'm trying Bomb. I don't think Hammer will ever be worth it to me for this character. And the same goes with Strike. I either want the mechanic of the AoE of Blast, or I want the damage of Bomb. Whichever is best. The little Strike is too RNG for what I want with the character. Also, Gladiator gives you like... Yeah, Gladiator gives you guaranteed crits on whatever blessing you're using. So I don't really want to use like Strike and use my crits on Strike when I could be using it on a bomb that does a lot more damage, or on Blast that has AoE capability. I do like Hammer on Sorcerer. Yeah, that might be the only character. I like Blast on almost everything unless the range, and then I like Strike. But I could really go either way with the Sorcerer. He's kind of in a weird spot where nothing really fits perfectly well on him. Alright, we're going to take the magic missiles. We just want more damage. We do physical damage, but we do more magic damage. We'll probably still take it. May just take the gold gain so we have to pick up less gold. Yeah. And we'll take the little bit of damage. Bomb is like really easy to miss on. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I don't want this to be a run where I just rag on Bomb the whole time. I actually want to give it like a fair chance. And the damage is definitely there. It's just, on average, you might be hitting some, doing a lot of damage with others, getting the crits, not getting the crits. Blast just might be overall, like on average, better. Because you're always hitting, if you're hitting with your Trident, you're hitting with your Blast. Which also means if you're spending a crit on a bomb, then you're always hitting with, or sorry, if you're spending a crit on the blessing, like Bomb or Blast or whatever it is, you kind of want it to hit. And it could be just kind of how I play, where I'm like attacking and moving. So, but so far it feels like Bomb is single target only. And we'll see how useful it is this run for single target. I like Blast because nice AoE damage. Yeah, so that's kind of how I see it, is like Bomb and Strike and Hammer are kind of for single target, and Blast is like the AoE. But a lot of characters can't utilize Hammer very well. They would rather be using Strike. So Hammer really doesn't get picked like at all, even though the damage is fine and the cooldown is fine. If you're picking something like a Thief or a Ranger or something that has really high attack speed, Paladin, even Gladiator, you want to pick something that has a lower cooldown, so you're looking more at the the strike, but I care more about the AoE, the mechanics of the ability, versus just the damage it's doing. Because if I get surrounded and a strike is only dealing one proc to one enemy that's in front of me already, when I'm like worrying about things behind me and all around me, the AoE is just going to be a lot better. So the only other one I can really even consider is the bomb, and that's why we're trying it. You pick bomb on, or you pick hammer on ranger because it synergizes. Does it sync up perfectly with your attack speed if you're like standing still? Because that's the 0.3 cooldown, right? I think the ranger attacks way faster than 3 times a second. Which is okay if you miss some. I'll have to try out hammer on ranger. Cause it does sound kind of interesting. Like if you're attacking a single target in a line. I use Kyra on ranger, so I could hit with 2 Kyra missiles. I could hit with my actual ranger. I said missiles, but arrow. And you could also hit with the hammer at the same time. That could be like pretty good. Might be better than strike, but strike at least benefits from all the like magic damage. If you get penetration. But I'm thinking ranger might pull ahead in physical damage when Kyra gets high enough. Because the base damage of like the ranger arrows are like 14, 12, 16, somewhere in there. But Kyra you can scale up infinitely and you get 4 more per. And it starts at 10. So you can easily get over your main damage skill with Kyra. So I think it might become where ranger cares more about physical penetration than magic penetration. That's the whole point. And then hammer would look even better. It's still nice because ranger is mainly auto-attacking, so hammers are nice. That's true. I mean, strike does the same thing, I guess. Kyra works really well in this luck meta. Oh yeah, you get like really high chance to proc it. Almost 100%, if not 100%. Depending on how much luck you have. It'll really be if you can get more single target damage out of strike on ranger or hammer. Wow, 1 and 4. I'll pick it last. Oh, redeeming? It's the square pattern. Oh, we still got a chest, but unfortunately it was a diamond. Alright, so bomb versus the boss. He kind of just runs away. Inconclusive. I mean, I think I dropped 3 bombs and he ran away from at least 1. The first one that he ran away from would have been the one with the, like, the guaranteed crit. The last ones were kind of when I was out of crit stacks and it finally exploded. Oh, does bomb hit things that fly in the air? That's kind of important. If it doesn't hit bats and doesn't hit ghosts, then it is actually terrible. For what I want, at least. I'll have to see if I can figure that out. Is the bomb actually single target? It's AoE, but it does like high damage, right? What is it? Effects, and we're looking at Divine Bomb. It deals 125 fizz. We sure love those chest diamonds. So yeah, I mean, the issue with it is it's not always AoE, and in other times it's not always even single target, because things move. Like bosses that move, first boss doesn't move, the Stone Guardian, second boss moves a lot, third boss moves a lot, fourth boss doesn't move, fifth boss doesn't, or sorry, fifth boss moves, because I forgot Vampire exists now, and then Dragon doesn't move, so it's really only a benefit guaranteed against Stone Guardian, the Watcher, and Thundersnow. Alright, let's see. Can we tell? Alright, it definitely hits stuff in the air. Either that or our minions are killing everything. Let's see, let's do a test. Let's try to do a test. I guess we somehow hit the unit. Alright, I can't not hit the unit. Trying to drop a bomb on it. Dragon is disabled? What do you mean dragon is disabled? Oh, I see what you're saying. He doesn't fly. Leg disabled. I think those are the pulls that are going to make bomb shine, if it even shines at all. You're pulling it on the corner, you have a bomb waiting, they will all walk into it, and it explodes on them. Using wheelchair. It's pretty accurate. It's kind of surprising they made a dragon, they didn't make him fly or like do anything. It could have like an invulnerability phase and flies around just dealing damage to you. I'd say he's just kind of chilling. He never gets mad and just like does anything unfair, like fly up in the air and just rain chaos down on you. The cost of ancient power is great. I mean, the statues go down fast. I wonder if there's any merit to just not running the 4th chapel on Gladiator, so you can always get the guaranteed crits on your trident. Couldn't that be like really good? If your trident always does like way more damage than your divine skill, you would just want to always crit on your primary. There has to be a reason why that's not good. What's the reason, y'all? When you have like infinite crit bonus. Like, do the divine skills count as part of your primary? So do they scale off primary crit, or they spell off spell crit? Because I want to say people say it's primary, but it technically should be a skill, because it's not your primary skill, it's a different thing. Unless it actually acts like your legit skill is augmented. Primary attack drops a bomb. I believe they count as primary. That's kind of weird, because it like adds a skill to your primary, but maybe I'm supposed to look at it like it augments your primary. You have 2 primaries now, instead of just 1. Pick what additional primary you would like to add to your primary. Yo dog, heard you like primaries. Primaries on primaries. Fortunate events, so we are up. Got some luck. 15 luck now. Luck doesn't help my bombs hit. Maybe if in the next DLC they add in like increased area of effect type of ability, or the next title could be 1% increased area of effect and you get up to like 50%, and then you start using bomb and it actually does like a nice little circle. Maybe that could be good. It's kind of small. Unfortunate events. I'm trying to think of who else like bomb could be good on. I would almost say like priest, but everything has so much damage right now. I think the clunkiness of bomb is not worth it. Because I would only want it for like bosses. And it seems kind of versus bosses currently. I mean, maybe you could play in like a more skillful way to always set up to where your bomb's hitting like a ton of things. But it's just not how I play this class, at least. Maybe there's like some way you could abuse it. 'Cause the only thing good I've seen with bomb is like the one gif of someone critting on the second boss with bomb, but it's kind of misleading. Like everyone is like, oh, you're one-shotting the boss, but it's like a level 16 character and bomb has super high like base stats. So if you get like a lucky crit or double crit, yeah, you're gonna kill something. It's just like that's like NG0, right? Second boss NG0. That's nothing. It's like you could one-shot that with anything. That bomb just has such high like base. You don't even have all your skills. I don't know. So that kind of irks me because it's not really how it is. Also got to figure out if I like Kyra more or Ozreth. I feel like I like the speed of the primary, even though you can bypass the cooldown of the primary with trident stacks. I guess I'm trying to make my worst case scenario Gladiator feel the best. So when I don't have guaranteed crit, I want as much crit as possible. When I don't have instant speed attacks, I want as fast of an attack as possible. That makes sense to me. At your worst, I want to make the worst the character can be the best, while still keeping everything else like pretty much constant. So if I'm attacking faster, maybe that faster attacking, the 20% from Kyra, maybe that's enough to sustain versus some enemy's damage, where otherwise I wouldn't be able to. I'd be attacking too slow. Or, I don't know, just something like that. It's gotta matter eventually. But Ozreth does do a lot of damage potentially. And some bosses can be inflicted with poison. I don't think the first boss can because he's a construct. But second boss, third boss, fourth boss should be able to, and probably vampire, so everything but Thunder Snow and the first boss. You're hard stuck on the decision between Kyra and Ozreth. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Kyra at least works on everything. The base damage scales with levels, which is kind of nice. The other is like a % damage scaling. So it really depends if you can scale the base high enough. Kyra for primary builds for sure. Okay, well. If that's for sure, then that's definitely kind of what we're going for. No doubt for me. I think the quality of life is better than anything you would get from Ozreth, even if you got like a little more damage. It can't be absurdly more damage. The quality of life of not running Ozreth is kind of nice, because you don't have to roll the shop as hard in the beginning, or use a different statue and then log over, and when you find a poison item you start using Ozreth, or use Ozreth for bosses 2 through 5, but you switch to Kyra for boss 1 and 6. Like, it depends how like crazy you want to get with it. Because you could min-max like through the whole run and just log off all the time and switch the statue around depending on what you're doing. But it seems kind of yikes. It's not really fun. Maybe if it ever mattered, like if you're doing NG+10 and it's like the only way to do it, then like sure, do that. But if you're just doing like NG+10, NG+20, that's probably not worth logging over for. Alright, now that I spent all my crits on that guy, we'll attack the other guys. It must not have been in combo in the beginning. Kind of need to keep attacking to get bombs started. I wish I could see how many bombs actually hit somehow. It felt like most of those missed, but it could be like an issue with the circle graphic versus the actual explode radius. I'll probably side with Kyra. The quality of life just seems nice. Even if it's like slightly less damage, you're gaining like a lot of quality of life, which I don't even know if it's less damage. Just an infinitely scaling base like attack damage seems incredible, where the other is like percent. So would you rather increase your base by a percentage, or increase the base by a flat amount and then apply your percentages that you get from the rest of your character? There's like almost no way to scale flat damage in this game, but you can get some percent damage for sure. That's why Incendiary Demise is so good, and eventually Kyra will give you more damage than Incendiary Demise does, so by proxy Kyra has to be good eventually when you start getting 40 damage from Kyra. Which, how much am I getting from Kyra right now? Kyra is level 7, starts out at 10. Each level of the statue increases the base by 4, so we have 28, we're at 38 physical damage. And then we have 40 magic damage from Incendiary Demise. So we're getting up there. Next level will do more physical damage than magic damage, I believe. Despite that we have the magic penetration blessing instead of the armor penetration one. So as things scale higher, I will probably be switching to the armor penetration from magic pen. I have to think some more about that, but I think that's going to be how it works. There should be like an instance where you're kind of in the middle, and you could go either Shield Breaker or Mage Bane and have good damage either way. Use Orzoth to poison the enemies, switch statue to Feralath to get bonus damage on disarmed enemies. Disarm enemies, switch back to Kyra, kill the one mob. Yes, exactly. Now we're min-maxing. That'd be the deadest mob. Yeah, bomb's just too slow. It's 1 second. And since it's primary, it's not gonna adjust its explosion time by skill speed. Oh, we didn't have to do this trap. We can just grab the construct book. What else we got in here? Anything? I think we're almost done, if not done. Yeah, we're done here. Keep moving. I think it's always best to go with magic pen because it's easier to get armor pen than magic pen. Is that true? I'd have to look at all the items and see. I guess it depends if you're in between. Then like it doesn't matter. And you would say magic. But if it actually matters where you have like 80% physical if you scale it that high. Also, frequency. Thank you for the follow, my dude. Appreciate it. Haven't seen you here. Welcome to the channel. Just playing some Hammerwatch. You're welcome. We're so polite here. Saw your stuff on YouTube, just getting into the game. Nice. Well, hopefully you enjoyed it. If not, let me know what you'd like to see. We're just kind of starting to put stuff up there and work on some guides and whatnot. Yo, hello Shadow. You're new here. Welcome. Having a blast so far, just trying to push through NG. Yeah, I would say, I mean, depending on what you watched, I would say the game kind of starts when you get everyone to NG2, around level 30. That's when you can unlock all your skills. So as much as the order seems like a big deal right now, and when you get what skill, it's kind of whatever feels best to you. Because eventually you're going to get them all. And the reason I say like the game kind of starts then is that's when you get your that's when you get the anvil, so you can start attuning items. That's when you get all your skills. That's when you get all the blueprints, all the drinks. Oh, you've been playing for a while then. I've been playing Paladin. I think I'm NG4 or 5. Yeah, that's really good then. Paladin's definitely very useful to have early because you can speed farm a lot of the blueprints and drinks, and ore is a good one to speed farm as well. I actually have an idea for another ore video I need to make, so I will look to start that soon. Should be more ore than the current one. And still just as easy. So that's a little exciting. I think that video was pretty helpful for a lot of people. I'm also kind of new, got my Sorcerer to +5. Dude, Sorcerer is not an easy character to start off with. He kind of shines whenever you get his whole kit together. Because I started Warlock when I first started playing, and had a lot of issues with the third boss, I believe, or the statues in general. But the Warlock was different back then. His range was shorter on his melee and all that. Then I tried like Sorcerer. The sustain on the Sorcerer early is, I think, the hard part until you get to NG2 when you have drinks. Ranger is by far like the easiest one to start with. But the first character is just, it's always your weakest character, anyway. You don't have any title bonuses from anyone else, you don't have any money that has been donated from your other characters to give you rewards in the town. You actually have nothing. And yeah, that's probably the hardest and maybe the most boring part of the game. It feels weird when you get like level 10 in your first like run or something and you have to go die to get new skills to progress. Whereas a lot of the following NGs, you don't have to ever like die to go get skills. I started with Warlock and still don't like him even though I have decent mana regen now. Yeah, I feel like the Warlock's a love-or-hate type of character. But to your benefit, they kind of nerfed him in a way. They kind of like with Arena. Technically, they nerfed like all the characters that give you those stats. So you don't really have to play Wizard if you don't want to. You don't really have to play Ranger if you don't want to. You can just go do Arena. Same kind of goes for Paladin and what's the last one I'm thinking of? Warlock. You technically could get away without playing them. You should at least play through them, you know, NG0, because you get the most stats for your time invested. But after that, it's kind of up to you. And then yeah, depending on your setup, you don't need mana regen. So it just kind of makes some of the other characters better to get NG levels on. Like, mana's good for everyone. Regen on the priest is little, but it's kinda useful, at least early on. Later in the game, it's not very useful. Just because your health scales so much faster than the regen ever scales. We'll do those traps when we have to, which should be coming up kinda soon. A few more NGs and our resist will be nice and low. We'll take a lot of damage from those traps. Or we'll just kite monsters over there to the trap with us and we'll leech off of them while we run through the trap. Depends how much damage we're taking. Alright, I think it's the last portal. I need more ore, like every other person. So we'll go out of our way to get the ore. I'll pick up some diamonds too. Why not? Gotta go back and get the ore. Oh, we found a button. Anything useful that we can tell? Doesn't look like it. Sometimes you'll press the button to get a chest that's like all the way on the other side of the map. Oh, we haven't found the exit. Oh, it's probably that one right there. Let's see, we usually play in groups of 3 or so, but people, it seemed, have gotten a bit tough. NG 4 or 5. Any tips on what would help? We did a couple of the class titles also. I assume you're playing with friends in groups of 3 or 4? Because, I mean, one thing is you can play solo and that's easier. You don't have to rely on anyone else. But if you're talking about in groups and how to reconsider the builds you're using. Yeah, I mean, I guess what y'all's composition too? Do people like to play certain characters mostly? Or is it kind of all over the place? Oh, my PogChamp command doesn't actually show the emote. It's a little sad. So many dodge procs. Yo, Matterson, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, my dude. So yeah, you can just reconsider like the builds a little bit. I'm not the best to give advice on like group play, to be honest. because I haven't done much of that. But I think you could set up your team in a way where you have like a front line, like a priest or a paladin, and then you have all the damage dealers in the back. So you can have like ranger, wizard, sorcerer kind of hanging back a little more, and maybe even use like a thief up front to stun whenever you guys want. Some CC. Attune proper items, yeah, attune is really nice. And if there's like something in particular y'all struggle with, just attune it in the bestiary if you have that. Because really that's what it's there for. Everyone struggles against like different things in the game. Not proper but important items. I think you definitely want to find someone that has like Mage Bane or Shield Breaker, because that's like a debuff that applies for everyone. So if someone's applying like Mage Bane, someone else could be applying Shield Breaker. You get a lot of damage that way. I like the idea of like Rogue for CC. Struggle against like everything with magic. Yeah, early on magic feels really brutal. So if you attune like the Lich character, that's the wizards in Act 3 and... wait, Act 3, 4, and... yeah, just 3 and 4. And then if you attune like Wisp, because Wisps kill a lot of new people. I could see it especially in groups, where if you have the front line that's killing everyone and then like the casters have to run through all the Wisps that are dying, that could be like an issue. You're gonna like kill each other. What do you play mostly? Oh, you said you play the sorcerer, right? Sorcerer magic. You should be able to avoid magic a little easier than some of the characters, but yeah, magic can be really really bursty. Wisps don't explode upon dying on NG 0 to 1. Oh, that's true. They get more stuff as they get to NG 2 and NG 3. They start splitting and doing even more damage. But I mean, Frequency said he's Paladin at NG 4 and 5, but he's getting destroyed by magic damage. So make sure to use your lay on hands when you're coming up against magic damage. You can consider starting even items like Mage Bane plus Craft Amulet of Kings if you found that, and if you attune it, you know, you get 60 resist, so you can play a little not as good and be fine. Make sure you use Leech of some kind, either from the Blessing or Crimson Death. Oh, I guess that was like the best boss for bombs, and it didn't feel too much different than with Blast. So I think our theory is gonna hold true, that bombs just mechanically aren't good enough, which is kind of what we thought before, but we had to try it out anyway. What was that? Amulet of Vengeance. That is a relic to the past, the old meta. Recently unattuned all of my Amulets of Vengeance, because I don't use them on any character anymore. I don't really enjoy playing with Crimson Death, so I build all my characters not to use Crimson Death. And yeah, some will use Incendiary Demise still, but I want to start Lucky Hat and I want to start Mage Bane pretty much on everyone. Except casters, then I'll start Staff of Auto Casting instead, and that's pretty much the build for all my characters. Works out so far. Which, beside like very slight variations, it seems there is a primary build and there's a spell crit build. There's not really class builds. Maybe something will change like slightly with what chapels you use or what statues. Maybe like one drink will be like a wild card. But 80% is like overlap, at least 80%. And there's other ways to play a lot of these characters. I'm just doing what has been best for me, really. I think Crimson Death has the chance of putting you in a bad situation. I feel like I rarely need the leech if I'm using Chapel Leech. Is it still worth trying to reach positive armor and resistance on high NG, or is it a lost effort? You basically just ignore it. Like, you get as much as you can, for sure, but, like, I don't really ever go look at the stat sheet. Like, I will get positive sometimes. If I got an Amulet of Vengeance, or not Vengeance, Amulet of Kings, I'd have positive, but every NG past this, I'm probably never going to see positive again. You just know that you're getting as much as you can, and that's all you can really do. But like the actual number, it's not too relevant. If you're struggling and you feel like that's what's causing the problem, I would say do some arena and get some extra stats that way. That's a nice thing in the new DLC that should be helpful for new players. A lot of the veteran players either already have a lot of NG levels for their characters, and they have some resist and armor from Paladin already, or from Warlock respectively. But some people don't, and sometimes it's easier just to run some arena, get some stats, put it into defense. I would say it's pretty easy to get damage in this game, so I would tend to put everything in armor or resist. Especially for primary characters, because you're going to use the statue. The Callus statue. Minus 20 is 10 times worse than minus 200. And how does it help being minus 20 versus being minus 200? I mean, I would have infinite if I could, right? But it's not possible. It's not possible for some characters to get any positive, so it's really just get as much as you can. A lot of times when I buy at the shop, I'll just buy resist or armor. And it doesn't really matter what my total actually is, because I know I'm getting as much as I can for that NG. And if I ever felt like I was getting one shot by magic damage or physical damage, and the only thing I could do would be to get more armor, I would start doing arena a little more serious. Because I've done 0 arena on this character, and he's NG+10, which means I could do 50 arena ranks, which is 250 arena skill points, which could be 250 resist, if I had enough gold. So, it's pretty good, you know? If you feel you need it, go do arena. I'm sure at some point I'll get a point where I feel like I need it, and I'll have to go sit in arena for a long time. Oh, that was really loud. And I was looking at chat. Was that a crit? Is that why it was so loud? NG's reach a point where the base armor res you gain in your class titles outpace the armor resist loss. Oh, okay. Yeah, if the math works out to where you can just stay positive by doing enough arena. Arena's the key. If you feel like you're struggling as a new player, go do some arena. That'd be my advice. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but it's at least there. And the developers know it's not something that's been well received by the community, so I would expect it to change at some point. From what it looks like, the only changes they can really do in like a reasonable amount of time is just make things shorter. Waves come out faster, less waves, maybe less arena to do in general. So if any of those things happen, it might feel bad if you spend a lifetime in the arena grinding these points, but we don't know when or if any changes will happen, so who knows if your time will actually be wasted. And you'll just be that much more into it. But you lose your sanity farming that much arena/gold. Yeah, I mean, maybe you don't need that much. Like, you can think of it a different way. Like, if you just want to play one character as a new player and you want to play with your friends, and after that you learn enough to where you don't need an arena, or you have enough guild titles that you don't need arena, you can just spend the 10 minutes per 5 resist and get it that way, or 5 armor. And I'm gonna assure you 10 minutes is faster than you can get armor on a paladin. It's faster than you can get resist on a warlock. So just by like that logic, it could be worth it, just to make sure your first character is strong and you can hang with your friends. Definitely spend a little time in arena. Make your friends do arena with you. Make it go a little faster. You can all go crazy together. Or when your friends aren't around, you can join some public games, do some arena. So, because that's another thing that happens with a lot of people. Class titles are free. I mean, yeah, but the arena gives you gold, and it gives you ore. You could trade the ore into gold and buy some ranks. If your friends aren't around, it's like a great thing to do. You get some extra experience if you're not caught up in your levels for your NG. You get some gold, you get some stats. You won't out-level your friends. Your friends won't, like, your friend can't play for a week, and you go and get NG+10 on your character, and then they feel like you're overpowered and it's not fun to play with you anymore. You can kind of like stall by doing arena instead. That's like one thing you could do, you know. Maybe that's not for you, but well, we already have 4-piece apothecary. I thought there was only 4 pieces in the whole game. This demands instant attention. Apothecary satchel. Apothecary flask. Mortar and pestle. What's the last one? Oh, it's that movement speed one. Alright, so there was 5. Interesting. Alright, we're gonna go Markham's Mace for sure. We're gonna go Stinger. And I wish this was an actual sphere. So we're gonna go Keyring. Hope to get some ace keys by the end of this. Got a bunch of friends the game when it was $8 DLC, now they're addicted. Yeah, it's really addictive. If you can get past level 30 or level 20 on your first character, then you'll be playing this game for a long time. Flask is the new item. Alright, the +1 charge, or attune +2 charges. Hey, we've assembled the combo. We have fire and ice. We can switch to that other statue that freezes on hit, or does more damage when it's frozen. So we go off of what Author was saying earlier. We switch to poison, we switch to freeze, we switch to whatever else. I'm done with this meme. Let's see, alternatively you could activate downscaling as well if you feel like your character is too strong to continue playing with your friends. Oh yeah, I forgot about downscaling. I played with my wife early on, and we played double sorcerers for a while. I don't think she ever got to 20 or anything like that. But that was before downscaling came out, and I've never played with someone else since then. Which is okay, it's kind of how I like it. I mean, I would play with my wife more if she wanted to play more, but not really interested in carrying people or waiting around for people to log in and all that stuff. Hey, we got an ace key. We didn't even need the key ring. It was just there waiting for us. Let's see, what are we? We're 69. We're the perfect level. We can quit this character. Miss B-Weeks. Yes, exactly. Miss Weeks. Yeah, she didn't have the DLC, so I have all the power creep. She has none of it. I think it really wasn't her style. She didn't want to throw like hundreds of hours into the game. I like more of the planning a character, building a character, and like grinding all the stuff out on all the characters, all the NG titles, all that kind of stuff. But she likes more of like just, yeah, if you can just set it up, just do whatever, do all the best things, and tell me what to buy, and then I'll just go around killing stuff. She just wants to kill stuff. I want to theory craft and do all that. We are stacking up this money. Also, we've only found one imp this run. Our luck is going away. We found like 4 imps, or 5 imps the last couple of runs we've done. That's kind of nice. I'm targeting the minions with that. Oh, Markham's. I think that's our 3-piece. Yep, 3-piece Markham's with a ton of war gain. 556 because we just gained 4% times 78 items. So like 300% we just gained right there. It's a lot of war gain. I'll take it. Theory crafting is pretty much the reason I continue to play. Creating guides and items from sets is interesting stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I think there should just be more. Like, there should never be... it's kind of like the old meta. The old meta got like pretty stale because it was just Ring of Tea, at least for solo play. It was Ring of Tea on every character, plus like either a crit item or Mage Bane. And now what's changed is everyone uses Lucky Hat plus Mage Bane or a crit item. So I'd like there to be more diversity in builds, what would be like possible. Like them adding new drinks is definitely a step in the right direction. But I was saying this yesterday, and I think there should be like a combo build for all characters, but there also should be like a non-combo build. Like some drink that says you cannot be in combo, but you get some like crazy amount of flat damage. I don't know. But that's not like a good way to do it because it's currently you get in combo and you get 200% flat damage. So if it was the same thing, but out of combo, you get plus 200 flat damage or percent damage. It's not really interesting because it just makes them exactly equal. I just think there should be some way to play the game without combo. Combo's kind of like really meta right now, in my opinion. Which I see some people not playing in combo. Haven't seen anybody like really high not playing in combo. Oh, we still need to finish our level. We should have killed stuff in the last place. Mad Proposal medal. Yeah, the 5 people that can use Mad Proposal, they have their own little meta. With the 400% increased damage. They're living the dream. They're living the build I want to play. But I mean, it's still a disadvantage because if you have no way to generate combo, then you lose out a lot. Because you're still going to collect things in the game that give you combo. You're going to still randomly find Amulet of Vengeance. You're going to randomly find all the spheres of life and mana and the other ones. They're going to give you like combo novas that you never get to use. There's like drinks that are for statues that only do things in combo. There's drinks that only do things in combo. It's just kind of a disadvantage if you have no way to be in combo. Like some items just don't do anything for you. A lot of items don't do anything for you. So that's why I think combo is meta and it's here to stay. Like, the items are too... Just them existing is kind of oppressive. But then again, that's probably how they want their game to be played, because they make it where you unlock combo like pretty early on. And they've introduced more and more ways of activating combo and staying in combo. So I think it's fine. If they're balancing around everyone being in combo, that's kind of cool. Yeah, you can just combo with Mad Proposal. Perfect. There's always a next level. So I think if you're avoiding playing with combo for whatever reason, you're doing it wrong. Because now at least, like before combo was annoying, you had to run Crimson Death, that was the only way to get Leech, besides on your primary. So you had to use that, and then to get in combo you had to use Amulet of Vengeance, and to use that you had to have Incendiary Demise. So you're taking all this damage while you're walking around, and you're also taking damage... Oh god. We haven't had the bridge break in a while. You're also taking this damage when you attack things. And some things you can't leech from, like statues. So you're just losing life with Incendiary Demise. But now it's a lot easier with luck, making your crit chance really high, crit being really important now, using Phonetic Eruption to get in combo all the time. It's just really nice. It's less annoying to play combo. Do you plan on making an updated Ranger guide, or is the one you have from a while back still relevant? None of my guides are relevant because everything changed. The most recent video I did of the Ranger guide, or not Ranger guide, but the Ranger run, that's probably what the guide is going to look like. Unless I end up liking hammers more than Divine Strike. But that'll be a small change. I definitely am going to play Ranger as a primary build with crit and combo. And drink setup's probably not going to change at all. The items are probably not going to change at all. But yes, I plan on doing updated guides. Just hasn't happened yet. I wanted to get everyone to NG+10 before I was like, this is the guide you should use. Fighting the Stone Guardian out of combo with Crimson Death. Yeah, that was painful back in the day, especially on like high NG, when you had no way to sustain, but you have to get them down to 80% before you can get the bats to come out. But once the bats come out, then you're kind of good to go. You can leech off of them at least while you kill Stone Guardian. Oh, okay. I was like, another apothecary item, but that's the one we didn't buy in the shop. So yeah, I think our Ranger is NG9, okay. So we got 2 more NGs on him, and then I'm pretty sure we'll be at the point where we're like, we're happy with our build. Other people should play our build, at least to NG10. And then if drastic things change as we go to NG20 and whatnot, we'll make like a NG10 to 20 guide. So I foresee some of that happening on at least non-primary characters at some point. But maybe the guides will be better for longer. Wand of Chaos. Alright. Maybe we'll play Ranger next. Ranger's usually a pretty quick run. Man, our crit chance is too low. Ooh, that was close. Alright. We got 10 down in the books. We just haven't wanted to play with, what's it called? Stab in the Dark. So we've been trying to avoid that as long as we can. Damage dealt, physical 34 million, magic 49 million. Okay, I was curious if the Kyra was going to be pushing the physical damage higher than the magic, but I think it needs some more levels before it does that. And what to attune? We're a primary character, so things to deal with primary are going to be pretty high up there. Get some combo spheres if we have some stuff left over at the end, some stars. Stinger. Oh, Markham Stone. It's a good one. Could have gotten even more ore. Oh, we probably got some King's items we need to do. Amulet of Kings, Armor of Kings, okay. Curios, Duelist Edge. Heartseeker, ooh. Heartseeker's a good one. Let's do that. If we ever find that, we want to be critting all the time. And I usually just go for defense first. So I have the manuals, but we want some extra life. Yeah, we'll eventually get these manuals. And the last kind of stuff, combo spheres. Mana during combo, we're in combo all the time, so 3 mana regen is kind of significant. We rarely use it though, so we're gonna go life first. And that is our NG+10